So you've thought about moving to Redwood City, but not sure which neighborhood is right for you. Today, I'm going to show you the different neighborhoods in Redwood City to help you make that decision. Hi, my name is Heather Lynn. Welcome to my channel. In this channel, we talk about different repairs you can make to maximize the sale of your home and everything real estate related. So if you find those information useful to you, please subscribe to my channel and hit that notification button so you can receive new juicy video from me every Monday. Come take a drive with me. So we are in the Friendly Acres neighborhood in Redwood City. This is actually the neighborhood that I personally live in. This neighborhood is sandwiched between Highway 101 and Bay Road. It is the home of the new Stanford Redwood City campus, which is close to Broadway and Bay Road and sandwiched between Woodside Road. And it's a great location. I would consider this is still relatively affordable pocket compared to other neighborhoods in Redwood City. It's a great mixture of residential and some commercial establishments. And Marsh Manor Shopping Center is also located in this neighborhood. I've seen a lot of transition in this neighborhood over the last 15 years. I moved a lot of families into this neighborhood. I would say this neighborhood probably maybe 15 years ago was considered more blue-collarish, but over the last 10 to 15 years, as a result of Facebook campus moving really close by and the high-tech explosion, Google expansion, this neighborhood has gotten a lot of attention. So I would say that the look and feel of this neighborhood is very different now as compared to 15 years ago. Some streets in this neighborhood, such as Hoover and parts of Page Street, can seem congested because those streets, a mixture of single-family homes and duplexes and some multi-family homes, so more residents living on those streets. And this is also neighborhood park, Fairness Park, which is one of the places where neighbors love to take their kids here. There's a basketball court where you can see 3-on-3 actions going on every night. And in terms of schools, these are the schools that belong to this neighborhood. This is the Stanford Redwood City campus. It's got a state-of-the-art gym, actually, but only available to Stanford employees. Unfortunately, it also has a lot of its research and administrative offices relocated here from the Palo Alto main campus. So this is the Bay Road. It's one of the busier roads in Friendly Acres neighborhood. It takes you all the way down to Marsh, which is highway exit, and all the way up to Woodside. So this is a major route if you were to travel from one side of Redwood City to the other side. On this road, we will see a mixture of residential and commercial. And also this road will take you to Marsh Manor Shopping Center, which is home of the Lucci's supermarket and Starbucks, Core Power Yoga, a dentist's office, Wells Fargo Bank is here, and a couple of nice restaurants, including one of my favorite, Taqueria. It also has a bakery, a Chinese restaurant, and a brewery. So this is the shopping plaza that I actually walk to pretty often to get my Starbucks coffee. So this is Veterans Boulevard, which is one of the busier streets in Redwood City. It takes you from Highway 101 all the way to San Carlos. And this is also where Kaiser Redwood City campus is located. This is where I received my medical care. Kaiser is building several new buildings in Redwood City. Their new state-of-the-art hospital was just complete a few years ago. Now they're building a couple more new buildings. So definitely a great place to receive medical care if you have Kaiser. So we're entering the downtown Redwood City area. And the city of Redwood City have created a downtown precise plan. And in this precise plan, there's aggressive construction project for newer high-density housing. So as you can see, there are many luxury condos that are being constructed over the last 5 to 10 years. And those condo complexes, actually, many of them come with swimming pool, a clubhouse, a couple of gymnasiums. And the renter profiles, majority of them work in high-tech or work in startup settings. Those apartment management actually have fun social events before the pandemic to allow people to socialize and meet each other. So another great perk for living in those mid-sized luxury condos, which you see many of them here in downtown Redwood City. So we're entering Middlefield Road, and we're seeing some of my favorite restaurants in the Milagros, Donato, which is Italian restaurants, and we're also seeing the library here. They have story time during the week for children, and then on the right of me is the City Hall, where most of the Redwood City administrative offices are located. And Box Building is headquartered here in Redwood City, and behind the Box Building is the Redwood City Caltrain Station. And that Caltrain station, it might be undergoing major developments where taller high-rise buildings will be built. And this is another building, I believe, where Facebook has a huge presence in its philanthropic arm, the Mark Chain Zuckerberg Foundation. So seeing the Caltrain track here on the left, and we're also entering Broadway Street, what we consider the main downtown strip. Good portion of Broadway is blocked off for restaurants to have outdoor seating and for people to really enjoy the nice weather out. And we see it right here, Starbucks Reserve is also a main hangout for people who want to just grab a cup of coffee while working on their computer. And to the left of me is the San Mateo County History Museum, and in front of the museum is a huge courthouse where Redwood City hosts a wide array of community events. I'm hoping that they will resume the summer long festivities. Every Friday night during the summer, there's a really nice cover band playing outdoor music, and people usually just come out, have a bottle of wine, have a nice picnic while listening to music. And Thursday night is outdoor movie nights, or families bring out a little blanket, little sleeping bag to just, camp out here while watching outdoor movie. There's 4th of July parade, there's Christmas parade, there's salsa festival, there's outdoor concert night. So there's a lot to do. Hopefully, as the population get vaccinated, those community events will come back. It's really a lot of fun to come downtown to Redwood City. So we're entering El Camino, and El Camino is one of the busiest streets here in Redwood City. It goes all the way down to South Bay, San Jose, and all the way up to San Francisco. So El Camino Real is like the old highway of the peninsula and Silicon Valley. So neighborhoods and streets closer to El Camino tend to be more high density, a little bit more congested. Parking may be a little harder, but it's more convenient. You're close to all the shops, you're close to Caltrain Station, close to downtown. So there are pros and cons for living closer to the downtown area. Obviously, you are going to pass by Whole Foods supermarket, which is one of my favorite places to buy groceries. And then we're going to be entering the Redwood Oaks neighborhood, which is also known as the Central Park neighborhood. So we are in this neighborhood called Redwood Oaks. It's located south side of El Camino and between El Camino and Atherton. In this neighborhood, you see a lot more tract homes, more like newer developments. We see a couple of townhouse community and gated community where homes were developed at the same time. So this is Canfield Common, and in this community, homes were built around the 1980s. Since they were built by the same builder at the same time, they have the same look and feel, very similar exterior. There's a HOA governing the community, so if there's any exterior modification, the HOA will have specific rules about that. In this neighborhood, there's also a community pool, so it's gated and enclosed, so you probably have a better sense of safety and just quietness in this gated community. So Hampton Oaks is another community in this neighborhood. It's also very similar in look and feel, plain community, more tract home-like, enclosed, gated, give you a sense of kind of closeness and in those communities. So relatively tucked away, but not too far from Woodside Road, where it take you to, shops, grocery stores, as well as downtown Redwood City and the two highways, Highway 101 and 280. And this is Woodside Road. This road takes you from 101 to 280, and it's also home to two of the prominent nurseries here in Redwood City, Wegmans, and this other nurseries that sells a variety of plants. It's also home to Dunkin' Donuts, Redwood City location, if you like donuts, the Brookdale Senior Living Facility. And this is another part of Redwood Oaks. Homes here a little older, more unique in its individual characteristics, a little bit more congested because, again, we're looking at single-family homes sandwiched among duplexes and multifamily units, so more cars per household, and therefore making the streets a little bit more congested. But nice tree-lined streets, and obviously homes that are older, sitting on a bigger piece of land, so definitely a larger lot if you would consider buying in this neighborhood. The neighborhood schools are these schools. So this is the neighborhood called Woodside Plaza, and mainly because the shopping center that we see on the right and the left of us is called Woodside Plaza Shopping Center. It's home to Michael's and Russ and Lucky's Supermarket and many banks such as Wells Fargo, Bank of America, and a couple of other banks. So this neighborhood is one of the most desirable neighborhoods in Redwood City. Homes here are predominantly in streets where only single-family homes are located. Sizable lots. There are neighborhood schools around where kids can walk to their schools, such as Henry Ford Middle School and Roosevelt Elementary and Middle School. Many of the streets are what we call tree-lined streets. You see trees kind of along the sidewalks or other side of the streets, making the springtime where leaves are coming out really, really beautiful. As you can see, there are a lot more parking spaces on the streets because most of the residents here are just one family per household versus multi-unit situation. There are also many parks, such as the Maddox Park that we just passed. Red Mountain Park, it has a huge presence here in Woodside Plaza, and the neighborhood that we're going to introduce called Palm Park Roosevelt, which is also known as the Central Park neighborhood. So we're going to drive by these neighborhoods, and as you can tell, the look and feel is very peaceful, very family friendly. You see streets and streets of single family homes, people walking their dogs, kids riding their bikes. Just a really nice place to raise your family if you have young children, if you're thinking about starting a family. The schools here are Roosevelt Elementary School, and middle school J.F. Kennedy Middle School, and high school is Woodside High. So we're entering into the Palm Park Roosevelt neighborhood, which is also known as the Central Park neighborhood if you look at multiple listings neighborhood map. And this neighborhood is sandwiched between Woodside Road and Jefferson. Avenue. And we were entering the Roosevelt Shopping Center, which is home to Baskin-Robbins, one of my favorite Japanese sushi place called Old Baby Sushi, as well as a couple of sandwich shops and stores. Across the street from the Roosevelt Shopping Plaza is the Key Market, which is a neighborhood grocery store. They have some of the ice creams, locally made ice cream flavors, so make sure you check that out. And this is the Roosevelt School, which is a K to 8th grade school. So this neighborhood is the perfect distance between quiet and secluded, family-friendly neighborhood to the hustle and bustle and the busier restaurant scene in downtown Redwood City. If you were to go downtown from this neighborhood, you could walk there, and it would be a nice leisurely walk of 20 minutes, or you could drive there, which will get you there in 5 to 7 minutes. So this is the senior center, which is on the outskirts of the Redwood City, Redwood Park. This senior center is going to be completely torn down, and we'll be replacing it will be the new YMCA, which we're hoping will complete in the next few years. So we're entering the next neighborhood called Mount Carmel. Mount Carmel is west of El Camino, sandwiched between El Camino, Alameda de las Pocas, and all the way to the border of Redwood City and San Carlos. This is also one of the most desirable neighborhoods. You see more Mediterranean, marina style architecture here. Many of the homes are sitting on bigger lots, and homes here are unique, full of characters. So definitely one of the very desirable neighborhoods. This neighborhood also, during Christmas time, a lot of neighbors really get their houses and front yard decked out. So definitely very festive during the Christmas time. It's about 1.5 miles from downtown, so relatively easy to get downtown. And obviously you have a choice of Stafford Park, which comes with a huge play structure, a water park, and picnic area, and the Redwood Park, which is one of the biggest parks in Redwood City. The schools in Mount Carmel are John Gill Elementary School, which is becoming famous for its Mandarin immersion program. Kids also have the choice of going to J.F. Kennedy Middle School, and the Sequoia High School is what's assigned to this neighborhood. It's definitely a great neighborhood to consider if you like relatively good schools and close to downtown. It is a more expensive neighborhood. Homes here are bigger, so they go from 1.75 million all the way up to 2.5 million are the average home prices here in Mount Carmel. So we are in this neighborhood called Farm Hill, Emerald Hills neighborhood. This neighborhood is west of Alameda de las Pocas, and it ends on Highway 280. Canada College up the hill is also part of this neighborhood. Up on the hill, you got breathtaking view of the hills, and sometimes you get the bay view. You can see the entire Bay Area from these hills. Sometimes on the sunny day, you might be able to get a view of the city. This is where the highest point is in Redwood City. Where the Easter cross is, used to be a church congregation point. There's large Easter services being held there. And this is home to Sancho's Taqueria, which makes the best fish tacos. So if you're in this neighborhood, make sure you stop by Sancho's for some famous fish tacos. This is also home to Hetchy Hetchy right away. Hetchy Hetchy is basically the pipe that runs fresh water from San Francisco all the way down to Silicon Valley. And there are neighborhoods where those pipes runs under. What makes this neighborhood desirable is its Roy Cloud School, which is one of the best schools here in Redwood City. It's 3rd grade to 8th grade, I believe. You also have choice of attending Roosevelt Elementary or John F. Kennedy Middle School, and a high school assigned to this neighborhood is Woodside High. If you're looking for somewhere quiet, secluded, up on the hill, this is definitely the neighborhood for you. Sometimes you see a lot more trees, a lot more hill views, and at nighttime you will get to see deer and skunk. And occasionally there will be sighting of mountain lions and coyotes in this neighborhood. So definitely a lot more nature, and this is the famous Emerald Lake, and only the residents that are surrounding this lake has access to the lake. It's a pretty secluded lake. So this area is also called Emerald Lake neighborhood, even though it's a smaller part of the bigger Emerald Hills neighborhood. Homes here are bigger. Many of them are on top of the hills. So you see some really amazing new construction, no expenses spared type of homes up on this Emerald Hill, Farm Hill Estate area. So now you know all about Redwood City. You might be curious about the neighboring cities around here. I actually did another video about Palo Alto. Check out this video right here to learn about different neighborhoods in Palo Alto.